Grandma grew up in different times. She loves me, and she understands that I love Harry. I get that that makes her uncomfortable still, but she is trying. I should go see her this weekend. It's real weird looking back at my childhood. I had all these messages about what a man should be, and now I'm thinking about marrying Harry. I love him, no doubt there. But will marriage make these patterns feel less like a trap? He kept a place for me here while I explored the world. That's good, right? That's love, isn't it? I need to get ready for the day. Love is weird. Back at university, once upon a time, I loved Sarah. It's not permanent. What would be the point in marriage? I hurt Sarah when I was with her. I'll hurt Harry too, in the end. I don't deserve someone like him.
I was so frightened on my first day at university. My parents drove me to the student village in the car stuffed with everything I owned in the world. I've no idea how well I did at pretending to look confident. If anyone else noticed, they didn't say. They were probably doing it too. Paul always liked Will. I doubt my biological dad would have. Looking at all my things in the boot of the car, I never knew I had so much stuff. I think Mum or Paul must have picked up the keys from somewhere. Weird that I don't remember how we got them now. I went up first. Walking into my dorm room for the first time, I could only think about my own nerves. It's one of those things that we do sometimes. We forget about the feelings of others. Yes, I was scared about it all, but how did Mum and Paul feel? After unloading the car, they were about to drive away to an empty home for the first time in 18 years. Maybe it was a scarier day for them than for me. I wasn't paying much attention to unloading. My room had a really thin nylon carpet and the cheapest mattress the university could find, I think, and I didn't care at all. It was my own space. You remember how that felt? Having control for the first time. I felt terrified, but excited too. Though mostly just lost. I didn't realise everyone felt the same. Having a room and being 18, yes, of course I was thinking about dating. I guess everyone was. I felt average, but I wasn't. None of us are really. Wait, no, cute is the right word. I wasn't really thinking about sexy back then. I felt so adult, but I had so much growing up to do. It's funny to think back, like this, now. I didn't notice Will again for a couple of weeks. If I'm honest, I'd forgotten about him while I got set up in my new home, though he must have been in the lectures. So anyway, I next noticed him through the window of the Union Bar. I remembered he'd looked back at me on that first day, and it made me smile. The music scene was good back then. Blur, Pulp, Elastica, Thingy, Suede. All those bands were great. Not that the Union played them much. It was more dancey in there. Fridays at the Union were always the same. Crowds of people, the windows steaming up completely, and sticky floors. I kind of miss it. After I'd seen him at the window, I wanted to talk to him. Maybe more. I pretty much went on the hunt. Finding Will wasn't easy. I definitely wasn't the tallest person there, and the lights didn't help. It had only been a few weeks, but I felt like a new woman already. Or I was on my way, at least. Will always gave me a good vibe. I know that sounds weird, but there it is. He just felt like a good person. He was too. I joined in whatever the conversation was that Will was having. I've no idea what we talked about. I don't think there was any doubt about my intentions. It was hard to talk over the music. We had a couple of drinks, and then I remember pulling him outside. You know the feeling, the rush of anticipation? I was getting that so much. The cold night air hit me and I felt a little dizzy. And that was when he first kissed me. Our first proper date was to the cinema. We sat at the back, kind of a cliche really. There's that pressure for back row liaisons, you know? We sat there fidgeting, wanting to touch but scared to. I kept looking sideways to see if he was looking at me, but tried not to move my head too much in case he wasn't looking and noticed that I was. I shifted in my seat a bit, letting my leg touch his. I was so smooth. When I went to hold his hand, he moved his away, but I think that was by accident. The film had that guy in it who always acts crazy but then does lots of action kick-ass stuff. We weren't really paying attention, I think. It was like everything else faded out. I plucked up the courage and put my hand on his leg, and he gave me one of his lovely shy smiles. He put his hand on the side of my face, just gently on the skin, turning me to face him. He closed his eyes and kissed me, placing his lips softly onto mine. We sat with our fingers locked together for the rest of the film, and when it was over we walked out, still holding hands. As we were going though, I had this weird prescient feeling. I could feel I was falling in love fast for the first time, but it was so strong, it would end. Will always gave the impression of confidence, like he always had a grand plan. I wish I knew if he saw that end coming too, like I felt it was. I don't know if that would have made how it went any easier. I'd been putting off unpacking all of my boxes, but the next day I finally got round to it. I got out the essentials, of course, but I hadn't felt very motivated to do the rest. I'd packed loads of my old books. Nothing really related to uni, I just liked having them nearby. When I was born, someone from my mum's work gave me a toy bunny. I know it's silly, but it makes me happy. I've still got that bunny on a shelf in my room. It's like looking straight into the past and some good times. Even the smell makes me happy. There were some candles my mum had given me. Will was coming over later that week and I was falling for him, so I thought I'd make it more cozy in there. Is it weird to tell you this? My mum gave me a tasseled cloth scarf to remind me of home. She's a right hippie. I couldn't make up my mind where to put things. It shouldn't have mattered so much, but I wanted the place to look nice. I must have spent ages just shifting stuff around. The little choices are important. I guess it didn't make any difference really. But I was happy when I was sure I'd got it right. I wanted to feel comfortable when Will came over. Will and I, it felt like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing, and just as likely to burn us both as to make us happy. But what a lovely way to burn.